How's it going, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Bochum Career Mode. This is going to be episode number 19. I'm going to start off today's episode with some transfer business. As you can see, we're signing a brand new striker, and that will be Theo Bair, the young Canadian from Vancouver Whitecaps, I believe. Will be joining us for quite a low fee, around about the 450,000 region, which is barely anything at all. He's not the highest rated player, but I just wanted to bring in somebody that's maybe a little bit below the first team's rating, but somebody that can maybe grow into a squad player and somebody that's not going to expect to play every game. We have a lot of players at the current club. They all want to have at least important first team role, and although that's okay, we have three strikers that are all expecting a lot of game time, and I don't really want to bring in another striker that expects that. I did have another option, the young American from Werder Bremen. I could have got him on a release clause for cheaper than his actual valuation, but I decided to not do that. I may still pick him up if we're not scoring as many goals, possibly in January or next season, but I just decided to go for somebody a little bit cheaper, just somebody as a backup if we really need him, maybe somebody that can play in the cup games. But hopefully he'll be pretty decent. He looks pretty good as well. He's quite pacey and he's quite tall, so maybe a backup to Gonvula, or even possibly a backup to Musa Kone, as he does have a decent amount of pace on him as well. Heading into the first game of today's episode, it will be against Kiel. The previous fixture against Kiel, they've actually had a lot of goals in them. I believe we beat them 3-2 and then drew with them 2-2. So they're not exactly low-scoring affairs. Generally, we come off as the better team in them. So we were hoping to go into this game, our first game against them this season, with a win, and that was what we were aiming to do. We started off with a pretty bog standard team that we've normally been lining up with, our main two men up top, Gonvula and Kone, hopefully looking to continue their goal scoring run. I believe Gonvula was on something like a 4 goals in 3 games run, something like that, although that could also be included in pre-season. I'm not quite sure on that, but we didn't start off the game particularly well. Kiel started off much better as they had a chance there. This was also Thomas Kraft's second game in goal, as we did start Ryman in the first game of the season, but we wanted to keep, start a higher rated goalkeeper, and we hoped that he'd maybe become our first choice goalkeeper. Sadly, he did go ahead and concede just before half time here, as Kiel make it 1-0 to the away side. Just before half time. It was really bad defending by me. Really, really poor. I wasn't really concentrating. And as you can see, Kiel were on top of this game. They had more possession. We didn't have a single shot registered on target. We were not playing very well at all, to say the least. And to be honest, we started off the second half a little bit better, but not that much better. We actually registered a shot there, as you saw. Gonvula probably should have put it away at least, but good save from the goalkeeper. But we continued our poor form in this game as we actually went ahead and conceded. So our second half performance was currently mirroring our first half performance. Really lackluster in the attack, and just really dreadful. Worse than lackluster, dreadful in defence. Like abysmal in defence. And it actually went from bad to worse here, as Kiel picked the ball up straight from kickoff off us. This was our kickoff as well, bear in mind. And they just had so much pace, and Kim Jin-yar just wasn't being able to match that winger for pace. He just seemed to not be on it in this game. And they actually made it 3-0 in about 2 minutes. So 2 goals in pretty much 2 or 3 minutes there. Really, really poor. And our day was not looking good. Fans were leaving the stadium. Obviously, we were playing this at home. There was a very large succession of fans leaving the stadium at this point, I'd imagine. We did get another chance here, maybe to make it a bit more respectable. Eden Wonyi broke free and sadly couldn't put that in the back of the net. He really should have finished that. And that probably just showed how poorly we were playing. And that probably shows us how poorly we were playing even more, as Kiel made it 4-0 in the 84th minute, and it was Girth, what a name for a striker, by the way, who made it 4-0 to the away side, and that pretty much was the game. It was honestly horrendous. I had to quickly check, I was playing with any sliders on or anything. I wasn't. I was just playing really bad. I actually took a break after this. I didn't play a game for another day or so, as this was possibly the worst performance I've ever put in. 38% possession to their 62. It was absolutely horrendous. I mean, it's funny, but quite worrying as well. None of the players played well. Zero of the players had a good game. So we made some changes going into the next game against Darmstadt. Again, games against Darmstadt, we've normally come out on top. We've not, I believe we haven't lost them in the season, in the series so far. So we were looking to hopefully beat them again, as we fielded a relatively rotated side. Players would definitely change. Bjordal getting his first start for the team, Godin getting his first start, and Dino at centre-back was also in. Dekali did not have a good game. Of the two centre-backs, Dekali had a really poor game, so I decided to take out our defender that actually started most of the games last season, if not all of them, bar his one red card, I believe, and possibly one day where he was out injured. But again, it was lacklustre and it was poor, and a rare-headed goal. I mean, can I also just add, that was a fantastic goal from Darmstadt. You don't often see those sorts of headers go in. I'm not sure if there's... I was playing this with the new patch, and my God, like the headers in this game from the AI, not from me. I couldn't score a header to save my life, but the headers from the AI in this game were very powerful and pretty much always on target. So I'm not sure if something's changed, but what a header that was. Absolutely no chance for Thomas Kraft in goal, but really poor from Godin at right back. He shouldn't be being beaten there. He was in front of the man and he just let him jump ahead of him, and it was bad defending yet again. And if you want to just see more poor defending, here it is, as Mellum, I believe, goes ahead and misses a chance there. Really should have scored that. It was pretty much an open goal. And Darmstadt would get one final chance just before the half ended, as the ball's whipped in by Mellum, and sadly for them it would hit the post, and luckily for us we would go in only 1-0 down at half time. We were again playing really poor, and I don't know what it was. I thought maybe to change formation, but I wanted to try and just stick it out and just see what we could do. Made a couple of changes throughout the game, taking off different players, bringing on maybe some more reliable players. I believe I brought Robert Tesh on in this game, but nothing really worked, as they still went ahead and made it 2-0 in the 70th minute there. It was just, again, really poor defending by me. I'm not really sure what I was doing. When I look back at the replays, I just sort of gave up. I feel like I was trying to defend another player that was already being marked, so I don't know really why I was trying to defend like that. But it was poor defending, and they made it 2-0, and that pretty much put the game out of sight. We did get one final chance there. One final chance here, as our new signing Bear would put the ball in, and sadly at point blank range Eisfeld had his shot blocked by the defenders, and pretty much that summed it up for us. A really lacklustre performance yet again against Darmstadt, and we were poor. I don't know what I could even do. We actually had some decent shots towards the end of the game, but a lot of them were off target, and really, we were poor. We didn't really have a key chance that maybe we could have flipped the game. I just think we were poor. We were probably destined to lose that game because of our performance. We would head home for our final game of the season, of the episode today, as we face Sandhausen at home, hoping to pick up at least a point against a team that we haven't lost to in the series so far. I believe. I might be wrong. All of the things that I say in this episode could be a little bit wrong. I know the Kiel facts are true, but the Sandhausen, I'm almost certain we haven't lost to them, but we may have not beaten them. That might be the fact that I'm missing. But we didn't particularly start off great again in this game. It was all Sandhausen in the first half, really. As again, we just were lacking, I don't know, leadership or just something. We were lacking everything. Defensive qualities, attacking qualities, just passing capabilities as well. We were really bad in the first half, as Ryman was back in goal in this game, as Thomas Kraft had conceded 6 goals in 2 games. We decided to give him a seat on the bench, and actually we decided to also change formation, going to a 4-3-3, where the 2 wingers are actually more being played as strikers, so it was more 3 up top, and that seemed to work a little bit better, as we actually got our first proper chance of the game, and Robert Tesh, old reliable, goes ahead and puts us 1-0 up. I mean, this man, he could be 70 years old and still probably starting and giving us some sort of quality in this team. He is pretty good. Still declining in stats, but still scoring in the second Bundesliga, and it's just, in my opinion, a classic Robert Tescher goal. He was always going to score that. Sadly, he was hero at one end. He was also the villain at the other end, giving the ball away there. Poor from our veteran, just lacked a bit of concentration there. And Engels would put the ball in for Sandhausen shortly after we scored, and making it 1-1 to the away side. Not much I can really say about this. It was just poor defending. I think I just switched off. I was really spamming the clear button, and he just didn't. Robert Tescher just did not want to clear it. He took his sweet time. I'm not sure if he was just thinking, he's 33 years old. He probably just is thinking about, going back home having a cup of tea or something. But sadly, Robert Tescher just taking a bit too long on the ball, and we sadly couldn't stop them from scoring. We did get a little bit of luck here in the final few minutes of the game, and Theo Bear goes ahead and claws. Get it? Because Bear. No, okay. Theo Bear goes ahead and gets his first goal for the club in his second game, and we did actually make a big decision. We took Gonvula off. Our top scorer of last season wasn't performing particularly well in these 3 games, and we decided to put on the youngster, who goes ahead and picks out that nice shot into the bottom corner there. And that was it, wasn't it? That was the end of the game. Nothing else happened. Absolutely nothing. Well, actually, there was one final chance in this game, and I have to be honest, it was a close game. In the second half, it was definitely much more contested. Sandhausen deserved it in the first half, and they would actually go ahead and get a little bit of luck in the second half, as a deflection from the young 19-year-old centre-back Bela Kotchap is deflected into the back of the net. That is really unfortunate. I'm not saying we deserve to win the game, because if I'm being honest, when you look at the stats at the end of the game, Sandhausen deserved to win the game, never mind draw. But it was really unlucky. Like, last minute, literally the last kick of the game, and it would be our young centre-back. Not his fault at all, but his deflection takes it over Ryman in goal. And that was the end of the game, sadly. Bear does get his first goal for the club, which is good. Looking like a bright young star in what is looking like a dim dressing room, if I'm being honest. Robert Tescher and Bear, the 2 better players of this side. But if I'm being honest, it was a bit of a lacklustre performance in general in this episode. And I was hoping to go into the next game with a little bit of a better performance. But that will be the end of the episode. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next episode of the Bochum Career Mode, which will be out very soon. And we will close off the transfer window in the next episode. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.